Hey guys, welcome back to Utterly Unfiltered with
Tash
and Cara. Thank you so much for returning.
As you can see, that Cara has a new microphone set up today.
Bougie.
She's looking very fancy.
We have leveled up. It's also because I've painted my nails.
Yeah, so she can't hold the microphone.
I can't hold the microphone. That's how dedicated I am to the podcast. Tash has been agonizing over the technology of this podcast for the last hour. No exaggeration. And I've just been here painting my nails. But I'm pretty
unfortunately, we were supposed to level up to a more fancy podcast setup today, but the success did not happen.
No, it did not.
But we've got Cara's sorted.
Yeah, but those mics were kind of cool because they had colours.
They were cool.
This one doesn't have colours.
Does not have colours.
No, but it has sound. That's more important.
Yeah, and it actually works with the computer, which is,
which helps.
A big plus.
Is a big plus.
So, yeah. How have you been? How was your day yesterday?
Yeah, good. I went to a hen party.
Fun.
It was fun. It started out being very wholesome. And it was yoga in the morning.
Yeah.
And we went to a little local park, which was so nice.
Cute.
There was 24 of us at the yoga, which was quite a lot. So I think
who has 24 friends?
Right?
Oh my god.
It's amazing. It's phenomenal. And the lady was awesome. Like, she was so good. Like, it wasn't too intense. But there was just enough sort of like she got the balance right of the breathing versus like the spiritual versus the actual like exercise activity, a little bit of fun. Playlist was great. It was like, it wasn't like yoga sounds or anything. It was like actual like
real
old
music,
school, like
nice.
Elton John. It was cool. It was cool in the park. And then went home, chilled for a bit. There was a sauna in the house.
Amazing.
Sauna, steam room, same thing.
Sauna's like the dry one, steam room's the wet one.
Oh no, it was wet. It was the steam room.
Steam room.
It was very wet. And then we had some chill time, went to get coffee, came back, afternoon tea, some games. It was a really fun game of like, we had to buy socks / underwear that reminded us of the bride-to-be. And then she had to guess out of everyone who bought which pair of socks or underwear.
Was it fun?
It was fun. I was a little bit worried about mine because mine was like they all ended up being quite comical, actually, thank God. But I had no idea what to do for mine, so I ended up printing pictures of her that I'd taken, 3 or 4 different pictures, and I printed them on transfer paper and then ironed them onto the socks.
Cute.
So I had a few little test socks because it was quite complicated. Like, you have to hold the iron on for like a specific amount of time.
Yeah,
and then
you can't move it at all.
You can't then touch the others with the iron. It was like, oh god. Anyways, it was fun. And then we had a private chef who came and cooked.
Nice.
Which I think is like amazing to be able to do that. To go to a place that you've never been. You don't know what the setup is. You don't know what the space is like. You don't know how to use what the equipment is going to be. And it was phenomenal. Arancini balls.
Oh, I love
Chef's
arancini.
kiss. So good. I could have eaten. I could have just had those. I would have died happy. And then I had a really nice veggie pasta dish and then tiramisu.
Oh, I love tiramisu.
Really?
So it's like Italian themed.
Yeah. But
I love
she also
Italian
that's the even more impressive thing. It was like 3 starters to choose from, 3 mains, and then 3 desserts. We had to order ahead of time. But the fact
24
that you can
people too.
Yeah. Well, there was more at this point because that was just the yoga. More people joined. Ended up being about 28 of us.
Crazy.
Can you imagine? And then we had a silent disco, which was fun. I love the silent disco. I put some Tay Tay on the playlist. It was funny when there's like 2 channels and some people are vibing to like one song and other people to another. And then you take the headphones off and then you just got... At one point there was Cruel Summer and Shake It Off playing on each of the channels. So when I took my headphones off, some people were singing Cruel Summer, some people were singing... And it was almost like a medley. Yeah, it was like a medley. It was funny. I loved it.
I love that little indoor silent disco. That's actually hilarious.
But they were loud. Like, because then I got picked up. My mummy picked me up. And then when I went outside, like, people were loud. It was loud. Like,
really?
you couldn't hear the music, but the screaming.
Oh my god.
That poor neighbourhood.
Oh,
Anyways,
dear.
and this was at like 11:30. Came home, had some tea. Doom scroll through Insta and got to bed at 1. That's the vibe.
Lovely.
Yeah. How was your day yesterday?
It was good.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as yours. No, it was actually really fun. We went to Holt for the day, which was so nice.
So pretty.
Did a little bit of shopping, had some lunch. It was sunny. It was really good. I did not sleep well last night.
I know.
That's why I'm very tired. But
any reason why?
Just knackered, honestly.
Too overtired?
Yeah, I think so.
It does happen.
On Friday, or on Saturday morning, when I came here for what time did I? Oh no, it wasn't. I didn't come here yesterday. No, I was
Friday
leaving on Friday night. Yeah, I was leaving my with my mum at 10:15 on Saturday to go to Holt, and I literally woke up at 10, and I was like, we left house at past. It wasn't too bad, but I was just like, I could have slept until midday, like 100%, and then. Last night, I don't know what it was. There was like something in the room that like kept making a clicking noise. Like I don't know if it was like you know, like those automatic timers for lamps.
Yeah.
Like quite a lot of the plugs and stuff in our house have those automatic timers on them.
Yeah.
And I turned the lamp didn't go on, but I would just hear the clicking noise, and it was just
irritating.
Really irritating.
And you tune into it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't screen that kind of stuff out.
No.
That's so annoying.
And like the shower, it does this weird thing where, like, if you shower in the evening and you turn the shower off, like 10 minutes later it'll just suddenly go like trickle 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 trickle, and it'll be like really loud.
It's like it wants to have a little, like, it's just reminding you that it's there,
literally.
Yeah.
And it's just like little things like that I just did not. And also like the pillow is not my pillow, you know,
it's all different,
so everything's different. Different. I just did not. I slept until about 4, and then I didn't really sleep from 4, so I've had about 5 hours of sleep, which
that's fun.
It's not the best, but today's plan is obviously with podcast recording for a little bit, and then I'm going to drive home, drop my stuff off, hop in the car with Mum, and we're going to go to Bread Sauce.
Nice.
Because I want to get some sourdough starter, although I haven't pre-ordered it, so I hope that they just let me take some sourdough starter. I don't know if they'll do that, but because we want to make sourdough pizzas next weekend. Nice. Otherwise we'll just make regular pizzas.
So next weekend, as in back home?
As in, yeah, back in Maidenhead, but because it's bank holiday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's Easter. Oh my God, it's Easter. We should have an Easter podcast. We should have an Easter themed podcast episode.
Yeah, we didn't do an Easter themed podcast. One. I mean, do you do much for Easter? Are you much of an Easter person?
No, but lots of chocolate.
The chocolate.
I like a chocolate, and some people do Lent. Do you remember? I used to do Lent. I went to a convent in South Africa.
Didn't you give up chocolate for Lent? Wasn't that your thing?
I've never ever succeeded with chocolate on. Biscuits one time. Yeah. Ironically, I gave up biscuits for Lent, and then when I was doing those lessons to do my confirmation in the church, in the local church, they were giving biscuits. I totally forgot, so I actually broke my Lent in church eating a biscuit. I'm doomed. I'm going to hell.
That's so funny.
I'm going to hell.
Well, I gave up meat for Lent what was it, year 8, when we were in Heatherset, and I've never eaten it since. So
is that when it started for you? Yeah. Really?
It was Lent. When we didn't do Lent as a family, like we've never had any kind of, we're just not religious, so we didn't have any of those like traditions. Yeah. But I think everyone at school was talking about it.
It's always the rage.
Everyone was always talking about, what are you going to give up for Lent? I'm going to give up this, I'm going to give up that. So I feel like, because I tried to be veggie before, I remember in year 7, when I was in Holland still, I tried to be veggie, and I think I made it like 3 weeks, and then we had shepherd's pie for dinner, and so I was like, well, I can't cook, I'm like 10 years old, so I broke my Lent, but not broke my Lent, broke my vegetarianism. I literally only lasted 3 weeks, and then it was like a year and a half later or something when we were in the UK.
Yeah.
And then I was also old enough to teach myself to cook.
And then you became a very good cook.
Yes, and that's how I became a cook, because I taught myself to cook vegetarian.
Nice.
But yeah, it was definitely Lent. I remember because I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, if it's for Lent, then Mum and Dad have to take it seriously, because they have to respect the religious
affiliation.
The commitment to Lent.
You're good. So therefore, you're a little cunning.
Yeah, well, it's better than just being like one day like, I'm not going to eat meat anymore. Like, no one's going to actually take you seriously. Let's be honest, especially when you're a child.
I did that though.
So yeah, but you're an adult by then. And you cooked for yourself, or your partner cooked for you, so you didn't have to.
That's true. I didn't have to convince my parents.
Because
they would never have.
No,
because South Africans traditionally eat a lot of meat. Not a stereotype, but I feel like they would agree with that stereotype. Mm-hmm. We'd have lots of braais, which are barbecues.
Yeah.
And they've really consisted of mainly like the plate would be about 80% meat. And you'd have this sort of like the salad that was just sort of essential, but it was just enough to like make it, a little bit, and then you'd have some potatoes, and that was it. That was the pretty much every weekend type of vibe. Just Saturdays, Sundays, yeah. And then for my parents, lots of beer and wine. But I swore I'd never drink, and here we are.
I know, how crazy is it?
How crazy is it?
Yeah, I feel like it always goes one way or the other. You're trying to rub off your
tattoo off.
She's got a Team Bride tattoo.
I don't want to malt it on the sofa. That's gross.
Yeah,
it's just the colour. Gold.
It's gold because you're a cool kid.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
So cute.
Yeah, so yeah, okay. So you didn't sleep. That's fun.
That's fun.
I had the option of staying over last night, but it was bunk bed situations, which is fine. But they were double bunk beds, so I'd share with someone.
Yeah.
And I just always pee so much in the night.
Yeah.
And I wanted to wake up here as well because I was like podcast and
Yeah.
yeah,
It's probably a good thing, to be
I
honest.
think so.
How far away was it?
very close. Halston. 20
Oh,
minutes.
okay. There
Yeah.
you go. So it makes sense, doesn't
Makes
it?
sense.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. Beautiful house though, 3 levels,
Really?
massive house. Every room was decorated. It was very grand. I think it used to be a post office, and it was
Wow.
very grand. Like even the rooms had sort of freestanding bathtubs, and
Oh
you know
my
there was panels
God.
everywhere, and the wallpaper was like proper bougie,
Amazing.
like beautiful wallpaper. It was amazing.
Maybe I'll have to hire it if I ever have a do one day.
Yeah, you will.
I don't have 24 friends,
We'll find,
so...
no, but like with my family and your family.
Yeah.
'Cause my cousins can come, my auntie will be there, aunts, well, no, we don't anymore. Yeah, we got you covered.
You'll be fine,
You're
it'll be all good.
You're fine.
Love it.
Yeah, stunning.
Well...
Yeah, should we crack on with this episode?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if we've decided what this episode's going to be on yet, have
Oh,
we?
wasn't it the ultimatum?
Oh, yes.
Which I thought was going to be a really profound. I thought like Tash was going to pose a serious question to me.
No.
And I was going to have to like do some heavy thinking. But it's a
No.
dating show.
So I am a trash TV
Me too.
girly through and through.
Me too.
Have you watched Love is Blind?
Didn't get into it as much as like maths. I love Married at First Sight.
Oh,
Maths.
yes. You're a Married at First Sight girly. I don't know what it is about Married at
Don't
First Sight.
say that like you're judging me.
It's just
Excuse
so
me.
unrealistic.
Maths, and Love is Blind is not.
But it's different because Married at First Sight, you arrive at the altar and marry the person without having seen them or talked to them before.
legally marry them.
You just have to like basically hope. But it's just embarrassing then. It's like, oh, what? All your family's there, and you're like walking. Imagine.
It's embarrassing.
Imagine. Imagine I said to my parents, right, guys, okay, it's not worked out for me in the dating world. I'm going to go on Married at First Sight. I'm going to get married. You're going to give me away. All our family's going to come. You're all going to watch me marry some randomer that no one's ever met
Your parents
before.
would be attached. Don't be ridiculous.
Literally based on some psychologist, I'm putting that in serious quotation marks, who decided they're a good match.
No,
for
but
you.
also they stitch you up, don't they? Let's be honest. They're
Of course, 'cause
absolutely
it's-
not trying
it's
to
for
match
the
you. It's for the
drums.
show. Yeah, they don't want
Yeah.
everyone to just be happy and in love. Your mum, in her Jill Assange era
Yes.
of her like free spirit, she actually might go for it. She might be like, yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Do it. Why the hell not?
You only live once, Tash.
I don't
Your
know
dad
about
would be
that.
like, your dad would be bawling his eyes out, probably in fear for you,
Yes.
just
Absolutely.
crying. My parents would be there, obs.
I just think it would be so embarrassing. Like, no one, like, I could just imagine the look on people's faces like, oh, are you okay? Like, are you mentally well? Like, because you can't be, can you, truly, to go on a
It's
show like
funny.
that.
No, it's too funny.
Whereas with Love is Blind, it's because they like talk to each other for like, I don't know, like, is it like 3 weeks or something? Like,
Okay.
they date every single day for 3 weeks. So that's like, what, 21 dates? That's quite a lot of dates.
It's a lot of days.
And they don't see each other. And then they go on like a honeymoon, they call it together. They go on like a holiday together for a week.
Yeah.
So they obviously like vacationing together is a pretty good telltale sign of
Yeah.
whether or not you like someone, because it's a high stress environment usually. And then living together, you live together for 3 weeks.
That's even more of a telltale. The sort of holiday, I feel like, because you're having fun, it's exciting, and
Yeah.
it's like you're in a nice place. But then actually, the day to day, do we
Yeah.
actually function together?
Yeah,
day to
exactly.
day?
And then at the end of it, you decide whether or not you want to get married.
Yeah.
And yes, there's the whole like fake wedding thing. And I do personally think the thing with Love is Blind is that there's like a fine if you don't like at least go to the altar. So you have to say yes or no at the altar.
Oh, I
There's only like some
see.
people who they'll let them like
Not have to go.
not do that because for the plot. Like sometimes there are people who like, sorry.
Oh yeah, that they just don't show up.
For the
Yeah.
for the plot, they like, oh god, sorry, I can't stop yawning. They'll have like a massive fight or something, and then they're sorry, and then the like producers will let them off. But like if they there's no reason for them to break up beforehand, then they will
Fair.
still like they have to go to the altar and
Right.
then say no there.
Right.
But then there's like some which really pissed me off because like. There was one in the last season, for example. It's been like one like this in quite a few seasons, where they'll have like family members and stuff who've passed away, and it's a thing at weddings to like put a chair and like a picture of the person who passed away on the aisle, so that they can like celebrate the fact that they're not there but they are there.
I've seen that, yeah.
You know, and so that's like quite like a sweet thing to do for family members or whatever. But there are ones who do that and then say no at the altar, and I'm like, you're telling me Like,
Yeah, true.
You've convinced your whole family, and not even all the alive ones, that you're gonna get married today, and then you're gonna go stand up there in front of everybody and everybody in the world,
and then and all your little
your
ghost
spirit relatives are around you right now, ready to support you, and you go, nah mate. What? Like, why?
What a move, though.
Why would you do that?
That's funny.
Like, there are certain ones where you can tell, like, they only bring, like, maybe they're, like, just their mum and dad and their siblings come. And you can see their, like, aisle is very small.
Yeah.
They've not invited the extended. Some of their girlfriends will come, or their their... what do boys call their friends? Pals? Mates?
Brubs.
Mates?
Brubs.
The guy mates. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, their mates, bros will come. But, like, not actually, you can tell, like, no grandparents and no extended family. There's no children, Yeah, there's other ones as well, where there'll be, like, children, like,
I know, they must be so confused, those kids.
Like, down the aisle with the with the
petals and things.
Yes.
No.
And then literally they say no, and I'm like, your niece is now traumatized. She's going to go to therapy when she's 21 and be like, I don't believe in love because my uncle or my brother or whatever, did this weird ass thing and it's like maybe traumatized me.
And now they didn't get married.
Yeah, like it's just...
That is actually quite funny. Do you know what I love though? I love that. So Love is Blind. Firstly, I love it and I cringe massively when they cry, when they get engaged. They're just crying at the wall. And I'm like, oh, come on, pull yourself together. You don't even know the person. And then secondly, it's when they like have two people on the go and they love them both.
Yeah.
But they choose the one because they sound more attractive and then they see them
and
they're actually like, whoops, my bad. And I think in the last season I watched up until the point where a girl chose someone else and then realised the error of her ways when she actually met them and then went back to the...
Yeah, this is the British one.
Yeah, well, he had the long hair, he was a bit hippie.
I can't remember what his name was, like Bernice.
They actually ended up together, spoiler.
They did, yeah.
Which is cute.
Yeah,
but
really
that
cute.
takes...
So random.
That takes a lot for
someone. It was
someone
Nicole, Sam, and then like he had like a it was like Bernadette or something. I can't remember what his name was, but it was like something slightly...
It's definitely not Bernadette.
No,
for sure.
It was something like slightly like... I think he was like German or something. It was like something that like, I can't remember what his name
blonde.
is.
He had long hair,
long. He's like a hippie.
Yeah.
He was so nice. I loved him.
She was quite not the same at all.
Well, she didn't come across that way in the TV show, but then when I stalked her Instagram afterwards, I was like, no, she is a bit of a hippie, but she looks like an office manager.
She's a bit of a hippie,
So yeah, maybe allowed her to let her hippie side out.
Oh,
yeah.
But do you have a hippie side?
I don't know. Do I have a hippie side? I guess my travelling is my hippie side.
That's true. Yeah, you do have a hippie side.
I was actually talking about this with my mum yesterday. Oh my god, we're going off a complete tangent now. But I was talking about me and mum want to do colour analysis.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking about like finding our style and finding out colours and things. Yeah.
Okay.
And for makeup too, you can do it. And but what I was saying is like there's this thing where you should have like 3 words that describe your style, and then every time you pick up an item, you got to think, does it fit into those 3 words? And I feel like my style, and I'm right now I'm wearing a shirt, so this doesn't really give this off at all, but I feel like my style is like rich boho, where it's like, that's what I would like it to be. That's what my favourite outfits are.
Okay.
Where it's like, I like gold jewellery. I like to have my makeup done.
Yeah.
I like to have my hair done. Like, I like to look put together, which I feel like is like the rich... I don't actually mean rich as in has money. I mean rich as in just like that kind of...
Rich sort of aesthetic. Like very, very clear and distinct in that style.
Yes, exactly. And then and so it's like, but like a little bit boho. Like, I like a flowy dress. I like
do you suit that?
Colourful things. I like sandals. I like... beach wear. Like, I feel like I like the kind of boho too. And I've had like different coloured hair, and I like my hair wavy, and it's like natural. And so I feel like my aesthetic is like rich boho.
Nice.
But I'm not dressed rich boho right now. I'm literally wearing Levi's and a shirt, but...
I would love to, because I don't know, I'm very confused with my style. And I think also that comes hand in hand with the music, because when I'm doing different projects, I dress different ways to represent the project. So with the electronic stuff that I do, I'm very much black and dark, and even when I go out, I wear a lot of black, and I quite like that for a going out vibe. But then during the day, I struggle with, again, the boho sort of flowy style, which I sometimes adopt. But then also compared to like the American crop top, blue jeans, white top kind
which
of vibe.
Which is definitely more I would say that's your vibe. You're like American apparel or whatever it's called.
Exactly.
Is definitely like
my vibe.
How I see your dress style for sure. And like you love like a jumpsuit and things like that.
I do love a jumpsuit,
which I feel like is also kind of that like it's like it's like someone who can like do a cartwheel at any moment in time. Do you know what I mean? Like you're always dressed to do a cartwheel.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
do you know, does that make sense?
I'm not dressing that way.
Well, no, it's not a problem. You wear whatever you feel comfortable in.
Do you think I should stick with my vibe?
Oh,
I'm
no.
overthinking it now.
She's
Oh my god,
overthinking
we're gonna have to finish these podcasts early because we're gonna have to retry out
No,
all of my
I
outfits.
like your outfit for today because you know why? Because your outfit for today isn't supposed to be your vibe. It's supposed to be the vibe of a garden tea party.
Yeah, I know.
So you're gonna be dressing for a garden tea party.
But maybe I just want to dress like me.
Maybe you want to just go do a cartwheel in the garden.
Maybe I do want to do a cartwheel in the garden.
Yeah. She's like stressing now.
Oh god.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I feel like
Crazy
something. Talk about the ultimatum. Talk about the ultimatum, please. Talk about the ultimatum. I still have to paint my toenails. I'm freaking out. Okay, what is this show?
Okay, the ultimatum is by the same creators as Love is Blind and also Perfect Match, which is one that's a bit trashier than Love is Blind. And basically it's like, I think it's like 4 couples who one of them has issued the other one an ultimatum, basically like marry me or move on or whatever is their little thing.
Okay.
So an ultimatum is like, oh, I want to get married, basically. I think that's the concept. So they'll come like to this show and they have a week where they all break up and they all mingle with each other.
Oh my god,
yeah.
Yes, I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
No.
Yeah. So they break up, they all mingle with each other, they all like sleep separately for a week and they date. So they go to like pool parties and like cocktail bars and they can go out for individual dates and they date for a week. Okay. Then they move in with then there's the choice, which is basically where they choose a different person that's not their partner to then live with for 3 weeks in what they call a trial marriage, which honestly, that whole phrasing just makes me feel sick because like how living with someone for 3 weeks is not a trial marriage. Like that's insane. Like I've like
someone else,
me and Alice have traveled together for 3 weeks. You think that makes it like we were in a trial marriage? Like no, like we just were traveling together. Like
but hold on. Can they go back to each other at this point to do the trial marriage?
So this is the thing where like in the first season, 2 people actually just literally proposed to their partners right there at the table.
The same ones that they've been with forever.
Yeah.
They broke up with it. They came onto the show together.
Yeah, so they did the
They
week of
realized that
baking.
they love each other and
and it was 2 ones where basically the the girl had issued the ultimatum to the guy. And then by the end of the week, the guy was like, fuck this. Like, I've realized my grass is very green. And they proposed on the spot right there.
Okay.
And so this is the weird thing about the ultimatum is that everyone on the show pretty much has got married. Like, actually has got married afterwards. Like, with their original partners.
With their original partners.
So in season 2, every single one of them did. In season 1, I think... Oh, actually, no. I think that's not true.
So they went back to the partners. Just to get this right.
Yeah, so basically they do 3 weeks where they live with somebody else.
Okay.
And then they do 3 weeks where they live with their original partner.
Oh.
And at the end of it, the ultimatum still stands. So if the man issued the woman the ultimatum, the man has to propose properly.
Okay.
And if the woman issued the man the ultimatum, they go to a place where they will propose. And then like if the man wants to, he will propose. Because obviously like, I don't know, it's still traditional in that sense. I don't know why. Maybe it should go the other way around. But
Sure. That's so fascinating. So it's all about the grass is green. It's all about like realizing how good you have it.
100%.
Or not,
yeah.
but typically, as you say, they mostly do. Crazy.
Which is so crazy.
That's mad.
And it's one of those things where like when I first heard of this concept, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think ultimatums are a good idea. I don't think this show like makes a lot of logical sense. And I also don't think it would probably work like in the UK. I think this is like very American.
You could also just agree.
Said that about Love is Blind, and Love is Blind ended up being so good in the UK. So maybe I'm wrong. But I think just because like, I don't know, Americans are just more likely to just say things out loud. I feel like British people are just so self-depreciating that they just we wouldn't get the same level of like detail about their lives, you know. But there are ones where like they pair up with somebody and they really catch feelings for the other person. Ooh. And there are other ones where they like immediately hate each other. God. And they're like, I just want to be out. Like, I don't really want to live with you, but they still have to. That's the whole point. You have to go to the end. And like, it's so funny because there's ones where it's like, one person will be like, should we just leave? The other one will be like, no, I really want to see this experience out. You know, like, I feel like this is really beneficial for us. And I'm like, I do actually see, this is the funny thing, is that it does actually work in the sense that, like, the people do grow throughout the episodes. Like, you can see the change in them. Because there's some, like, I think there's some, for example, where, like, the woman feels like the man just like kind of takes advantage of her a little bit, takes it for granted a little bit, you know. It's like, no, he doesn't buy me flowers, he doesn't open the door for me, you know, like, I don't know, who are these women settling for these men, but, you know, like, just these little things. And they, by the end of the show, the man's like, I would do anything for you. Like, you know, like, that's it. Like, we are...
I'm ready to commit.
Yeah. And hopefully they continue it. This is the thing I don't know, is whether or not that actually lasts outside of the program.
Sure, you'd have to go and do some stalking to find out.
Yeah. And a lot of them have actually got married. I have stalked and they have actually got married, which is crazy to think about.
But I suppose if they'd been together before... That's more likely. This is almost just like a reminder of, you know,
they've usually all been together for about 2 or 3 years, which is why I also think it's like very American, because it's like that's very quick. Like in the UK, I don't know, people don't get married that quickly. Some people do. But it's just, I don't know, it's just a really interesting show. But what I wanted to talk about though, which was so funny, is that on the show there's like, obviously everyone's different ages and everyone's been together for like different lengths of time, but usually like 2 to 3 years. And so like some people are like 23 and some people are like 33, and like in the most recent season there's like a 38-year-old and a 24-year-old, and you know, like they're all like smashing together,
different ages,
huge age gaps. And there are a couple where the man is younger than the woman to begin with, and then there's also a couple when they pair up, the man's younger than the woman, if that makes sense. And this is why it's so funny, is that like I judged them on that. Like my brain, like, you know, you just like see the little like age.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know, it says like Teresa 32 and it says Derek 30. And I'm like,
even
why
2
would you?
years, surely not.
This is a funny thing. So I'm like, why would you want to date a 30-year-old when you're 32? My boyfriend's a year and a half younger than me. Like
So is there a little bit of hypocrisy, perhaps, methinks?
A huge amount of hypocrisy. But there's like something, I do think that I genuinely do stand by the fact that I think men do mature.
No, for sure.
Later than women.
For sure.
And I think whilst it has to some extent worked out in my relationship, there definitely have been aspects of my boyfriend that have grown over the course of the time. We've been together for 3 years. When I first met him, he was 24. Wow. I would say like he was not mature then. And I think he's like getting to a point like maybe in the last year where he's like actually like, you know, like the whole prefrontal cortex thing where like it takes like 25 or something is where it like fully develops or whatever.
Sure.
That's true. Like that is actually factual. Yeah. And obviously now it's fine. But like, you know, if I look back, I'm like, obviously it worked at the time. But if I look back, I can see where there were like areas where like he was immature, and then again, this is not like a personal thing. This is like an age thing for men. Like just that's just who they are.
No, for sure.
And like I can see other people as well. Like my brother's just turned 24. I think he's just turned 24.
Oh, God.
How old am I? No, he's just turned 23. He's just turned 23. There you go. And I can like see that like in a couple years time, I think that he will be a very different person to who he is now, you know? Because like before you turn 25, I think you're just more like self-focused.
Sure.
And like a little, maybe perhaps like a little bit oblivious to like the impact that you can have on other people. Mm-hmm. And like I can see that in a lot of people around that age, you know, like friends who've got like younger brothers who'll be like, oh, you know, like this is so annoying, and I'm like, and then they turn 25 and then they're like, oh no, actually like everything's fine, like we get along great now. It's like I just feel like there's like a gap there. For sure. So whenever there's ones on the show that are like, so there was one on the last episode that was like she was 24 and he was 23. And they've been together since they were like 16, which is so fair enough. That's like a long time. But she really wanted to get married. I was like, why would you want to marry a 23-year-old man? Like, why would you want to marry a 23-year-old man?
Give him a few years.
Like, give him a few years.
Let him continue to sort of cook in the oven.
Yeah.
And then, like, when he's ready...
That's crazy to me.
For me, this did happen in Love is Blind. She was much older. I'm sure she was much older and he was much younger.
Oh,
recently.
Was it, oh no.
She was blonde, he was dark haired. I feel like did they even end up together? I feel like they did.
Was it the UK one or the American one?
I feel like it was the UK. It was the same one that I was talking about, the other guy.
I can't remember these guys.
But like there were 10 years in between them. She was like mid-30s and he was mid-20s. And I was like, no. Different life stage. Completely different life stage.
There have been some like that. There's one in the American one which actually got married. Which is she was called Lydia. I can't remember what his name is. But they had like a big, maybe like a 5 or 6 year age gap. He was like 24, 25 and she was like 30 something. Really mature. Yeah.
Or her mature.
Well, this is the thing, is like he did come across quite mature. And like originally she like discarded him because she was like, why would I date someone that's that much younger than me? But then I think he like proved himself. But I just like...
But that's a rarity.
Yeah.
That is a rarity. So, Trash TV, have you ever seen a show, I can't remember what it's called for the life of me, couples again, that go in and they stay in like a group sort of accommodation, and basically it's like if they want threesomes or orgies.
It's not just
or...
Love Island.
No, because they're a couple. They go in together. Some of them older,
like
some
swingers.
of them younger. Yeah, well, sometimes it's like the guy wants to have a three-way. Sometimes the girl wants to. Sometimes the guy just wants to sleep with someone else. It's so good. No, it's so good. You need to watch this.
You need to tell me what it's called.
And then again, like most of the time, oftentimes, the very first episode I saw, it was hilarious because the guy wanted to go in for a threesome with his wife or girlfriend, I can't remember, and another girl. And the girls ended up getting it on, and he was like...
like Ross and Friends.
Yeah, he was sidelined.
Turkey sandwich.
Exactly. And I was like, you know what? You deserve it, my friend.
Honestly.
Yeah, no, so they get to live out their sexual fantasies.
Oh, I've literally, that's so crazy.
I don't think they ever break up. I haven't really seen them break up.
But this is the thing.
It's hilarious.
Like, the internet is forever.
Yeah.
Like, you should never, ever...
Children.
Put anything on the internet that you don't mind being tied to your name. Like, I always say that about the podcast. I'm like,
that's true.
I understand that we are being open and vulnerable and we're talking about these things, but these are all things that if you got to know me, I would tell you about anyway.
Sure.
Or I would talk to you about anyway. Like, I'm not, like, I stand by the things I say on the podcast, and I also stand by the fact that people can grow and change, and I might disagree with something I believe now in 3 years' time, and that's all okay. But, like, there are certain things that I'm like, the internet is forever.
True.
Maybe don't put that out there.
True.
Like, you know, if you ever want to be any, like, I don't know, have any kind of, like, career of some kind, or you want to retrain, or you want to, I don't know, there's just, like, so many different things. You want to work in, like, social work or something. A quick Google and you went on this program where you had threesomes with your wife. Like, no, you're not going to get those jobs, are you?
Yeah.
Like, the internet's forever.
It is forever. That's a good little life lesson there. And so are dating shows.
Do you remember where I got that life lesson from? Is from, what was the name of that guy who was our IT teacher, but I never actually...
No, Alagni.
Mr. McAllister or
Yeah, he
his
was the
name
media
was?
studies. He did
He did this, like, I don't know...
Internet safety.
It was kind of like, internet safety. It was almost like a PSHE lesson,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
It's like, beware.
And he basically came in, he got the computer, we were all sat in the auditorium.
Yeah, it's big screen.
Big screen up. And he went and showed us a slideshow of the pictures he'd found of us
on Facebook.
on the internet.
Oh my God, terrifying.
From Googling our names, from looking us up on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
Well, he's not, he's a teacher, he's not friends with any of us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just from looking at our profiles. He had, I think it was there was this guy in our class called Alfie, and there was one of him with no t-shirt on at like someone's party.
Yeah.
And there's lots of alcohol-based ones. We were in sixth form at this point.
We got away lightly. Ours were just like embarrassing photos.
Yeah, I think there was one. I remember there being one of Soph, and Soph being like mortified.
Yeah.
Like mortified.
What was it? Do you remember?
I can't remember, but I just remember when you're just like having a conversation about it afterwards. And I remember Soph being like, "This was not good." Like as in like not because the picture was bad, but because I can't remember what the picture was, but just because like it's like the realization of like, oh no, that's made an impact. I think it's like that's made an impact on me.
It's quite a clever thing to do actually. But even yesterday at the hen party, as one of the quizzes, which also they had like a projector screen and a slideshow. And it was like the Mr. and Mrs. quiz. But part of that was just funny things of Ella interspersed. And there was some funny like Facebook, obviously where she's been like hacked, or like when her friends got onto, one of her friends who was there actually was like, oh, it's probably me, got onto her Facebook, and when you're like, oh, let's just type something really random. But all of these posts, and nothing was controversial, but it was just embarrassing.
Yeah,
it was like, it was just embarrassing.
I
like
feel
bowel movements type vibes.
God, I feel like this is
like,
so bad. But
God.
when we were, I mean, it's bad now. I feel like when we were at school, the common thing was that someone left their profile was, "I am gay." That was just always the post, without fail, every single time. Which is so funny now when you look back and you're like, we really shouldn't be putting those things out there. But that was such a thing, wasn't it?
Such a thing.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Soph did it to me once, but she did. She said, "Oh, looking for a date for prom." It was very tragic because I was head of the planning committee for prom and I didn't have a date, so that was fun. Anyways, but Soph was like, "Anyone want to?" And then my brother's friend commented just saying keen, and I was like, "Oh no,
oh no, that's terrible."
Kind of had a thing for him at the time, but like in retrospect, the age gap.
In retrospect,
and that it was my brother's friend, and that it was creepy.
Yeah, it would have been like 27, 17.
Imagine bringing like a 20. Imagine 27.
Someone your age.
No, not 27. This is my older brother, so 29.
Someone your age going to prom with a 17-year-old.
Although, with that said, Taylor Swift did that, you know. But, like, as a charity thing.
Okay, I was going to say
Kind of cute. It was actually kind of sweet.
Oh, God. That's so funny.
So funny.
Yeah, so after that lesson, I went through and I deleted my entire Twitter.
Okay.
Because I was a bit of an emo kid and I did put some things on
me
Twitter
too.
that I probably,
so
can't stop crying. Those kinds of things.
I looked at my Twitter the other day. I logged back in. I think we should share this in the next podcast.
Yeah, do it, exposing ourselves.
Honestly, I had like deep, meaningful song lyrics. I don't know what I thought I was going through when I was fucking 12 years old.
Yeah.
Jesus. Never even had a boyfriend, but like all of these really deep, like love songs. Then some animal welfare. Then some funny jokes. Like, Jesus, what was I doing? Let's go through them.
Yeah,
We're pretty much...
mine don't exist anymore, but maybe I can probably find something.
you'll find some.
Because I've deleted my Instagram, no, sorry, my Twitter entirely, and then I went on Facebook and I literally scrolled back to, you know, whenever I first got 2007 or whatever it was when I first got Facebook, and I deleted every single status, every single picture, every profile picture, everything that somebody else wrote on my wall, like...
Good for you.
Everything.
Oh my God.
But I reckon if we went onto your Facebook...
Oh no, I've got them all.
My name would still be on there.
They would.
Because I don't think I'm tagged, but it would still say Tash Porter. So I feel like we've got to go find it. And comments is a good one,
Let's do it. We're going to do it next step. Which is pretty much... We're going to record next. So I'm going to get my phone out.
Oh, you're going to get out today? Oh my God, that's it.
We're
exposing ourselves right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So funny.
But yeah, so join us next week for that. That's going to be fun.
Absolutely. I feel like that's all my thoughts on dating shows. Honestly, do you guys watch any dating shows?
Yeah, let us know.
If you do, let us know which ones you watch. I want to hear about this orgy dating show.
I'm going to look it up. It's so good. It's so good because, like, fair play, but, like, wow. Good. Wow. That's bold.
That is bold. And how they come out of it, like, not having broken up. But that's the thing, like, when you listen to... I can imagine, like, obviously people will watch back this show, like, a year later once it goes out. And they'll see their partner talking, like, saying such amazing things about some... Like, if my partner went on a show and it was saying, like, you know, Ariel, like, she's so beautiful, like, she's so kind. I know, it's just the first thing that hit to my head.
Ariel.
You know, like, oh, she's just, you know, she really sees me for who I am. Like, this is the things they say.
Yeah, not so much in the orgy show, but sure.
No, but in the ultimatum, this is the kind of things they say. And I'm like... we would not be coming back from that.
Yeah, that's...
You tell me that you think some other woman is unbelievably beautiful, the kindest soul you've ever met, that she's made you grow over the last 3 weeks in ways that I never have. Bye-bye. Yeah, like...
No chance.
Oh my God.
Chance.
No.
Right, guys, we're at time.
Yes, we are.
That's fun.
That's fun. That's it.
That was a fun ep. I like that.
I know, that was
we didn't drop any lessons or truth bombs, but it was fun. I enjoyed myself.
The truth bombs are don't date any men before they turn 25.
And be careful what you put on the internet, because we're about
the
to
internet
just
is forever.
Completely not take our advice and share everything we put on the internet. Not everything. Most things. We'll see you next week for that little bit of joy.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
watching.
Thanks,
guys. Like, comment, subscribe, or you know the drill.
Yes, that's the one.
That's the one.
Bye.
Bye.